Lego pieces. They come in all types of different shapes and sizes, and with that comes with different levels of usefulness. On one side, we have pieces that are almost used in every single build. And then we have pieces that are probably easily replaced, but can still be useful in many different types of contexts. And finally, we have the pieces that are used for only one specific purpose and can never be used in basically anywhere else. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to try and find that other way to use these useless pieces that basically shouldn't exist in the first place. In every collection, there's bound to be some of these useless pieces. And if you start looking close enough, you will start to find some of these. And with that, we have found our first one. At first glance, the first thing I think of when I see this is kind of like a dinosaur skull. But the thing is, in every single set that this appears in, it only appears as like a skull by itself. And also, it's supposed to be like a cow skull? Yeah, I don't know about that. Which is why I'm going to try to turn this skull into an actual dinosaur skeleton. So let's start. Now, in order to make the body, I'm going to use one of the most useful pieces. This is the Travis brick, and we're going to have like two arms over here, have some sort of tail, and the head's going to connect somewhere over here. Now, in order to find the limbs, I think I have the idea on what pieces to use for that. Just gotta take this, and now we have two perfect legs, a neck, and a tail. R.I.P. And now that the legs are connected, we can add another bracket piece and add on the tail. Now we can use the head and connect it to a handlebar so that we can connect it all onto the actual body. Just like that. And now all we have left to do is to put the arms, so right here. And then finally I added a few more studs to cover up the holes and make it more complete. And now we've turned a basically useless cow head into a actual dinosaur fossil. And just so that we can multiple, I made two of them so that now they can be an actual pack. Now we can let the raptor join his family. There you go. Now that looks a lot more complete. And that was pretty successful. But now that we finished the smaller one, now it's time to move on to the big one. Because these are the pieces that we're going to do next. Back in 2012, there was this TIE fighter, and it came with 12 of these pieces. So the first thing I thought of was to make kind of like a stickman out of this. And the only problem with that is that I only have 11 of them. So that may come to a problem. But let's just start first. As with everything, I always start with the head. And here we have the face of what's going to be the huge stickman. So we have some very bushy eyebrows and also a mustache. We have two eyes and also a pretty good nose. And even though it's pretty simple, I think it definitely gets the point across. So now we have the face. Let's go on to making the arms. And here are the arms. As you can see, we have this small portion of the body with a few clips where I'm going to attach another one of these bars so that it can connect up to the head. And with some pretty simple arms, they just have 4 fingers. And yeah, it's pretty simple with a bunch of ball joint articulation. And yeah, I think this definitely gets the point across, and we've used 4 of the bar pieces already. Now let's just build the main body and we'll see if we can attach the head. We can just connect the head onto here, just like that. If we turn it around, the head, and we can just add some support so that this bar does not fall off. And now looking at this as a whole, you can see that just these two bars along connected to this main part of like the shoulders where it clips to the arms. And now I've just made some pretty simple feet, and they have to be pretty big if they're gonna support this stickman. So yeah, they're just basically a big block of pieces, but I think it's gonna work. And I've also made this hip part, so let's see how it connects and see if it can actually stand up. And voila! As you can see, it stands up completely straight. And if we're to take the dinosaur we had before for comparison, yeah, this thing is huge. And I'm surprised that actually is able to be supported up, because I would have thought that this top heavy head would have kind of just made it topple over. But yeah, actually works. And if you count it right, you'd realize that we use 4 of these bars for the arms, 4 of the bars for the legs, and 2 of the bars for the body. And that just leaves 1 left. Now, what should we do with this? I think that the stickman is kind of bare-handed, you know? Maybe he should be holding something. That's exactly what I did. We have this kind of trumpet, and I used this dish piece that also came in that TIE Fighter set. There's some bar pieces, just for some like extra detail. You know, it's not super complicated, but yeah, I think it will work. I have some spaces for putting the hands there, and another space to put a hand there, and kind of like a mouthpiece here. Let's see how it works when it's actually on the stickman. You can see it just clips onto that plate over there, so that one hand can hold it, and then we can connect this other arm to that jumper plate over there. So now that both hands are on, we can now make some epic poses with this. And as we can see, we can have him standing straight up and proudly playing his trumpet. And here again is a minifigure for reference as to how tall he actually is. And now here is him sitting down. You know, now that I'm looking at it, it kind of looks weird when it's all bald on top. Just why I think that we should add a Christmas hat or a Santa hat, whatever you call it. I think that would make it a lot more interesting. And we just stick this weird contraption onto the back of his head. And now it looks a lot better. It looks kind of weird with that tiny little hat on top. But, you know, its whole face kind of looks comical now, which is perfect for this kind of build. All the proportions are all completely wonky, and yeah, it's great. In conclusion, I think that I was extremely successful in turning pieces that would have otherwise just sat in these boxes and turn them into actual cool builds. You know, and yeah, I think that I'll definitely be keeping this in a display case, and that beside the dinosaur fossils. So if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!